What's up, people? This is Optimize Weekly, and this week we are talking about linking and stacking with slastics. What does that mean? We're talking about combining slastics in different ways. So let's say I'm performing a bench press, or you've got a client that's performing a bench press. They walk it out, you've got medium slastics on, and if you've got a stronger client such as myself, what you're gonna wanna do is it might be too easy. So you're gonna wanna give them more resistance. So if you're working with the Vital Kit, we're gonna show you a method called stacking. And so I'm gonna take these two slastics and combine them with what I was already using. So 2 slastics, we're gonna clip it right onto the same handle. We're gonna do that with the other handle too. So now, what I've done here is, because they're both medium slastics, I've doubled my resistance. So I come out, and now there's a really good resistance for this press. But what if you've got a situation where you want not more resistance, but a smoother resistance? Well, then we're gonna use a different method, and that's called linking. So let's say we've got the same setup we started with. Same setup, I've got the medium slastics, and I'm performing some shoulder prehab. So I back up, I may be doing a little bit of warming up, and I'm supposed to hit some shoulder Ys, some like Y raises, right? Well, this resistance for me is gonna be a little bit too much. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of going to get a lighter resistance, because you might not have that on hand, what you can do is link the slastics end to end, and this is called linking. And I'm gonna do this for each one of my handles. So we're gonna set this up. And now what's gonna happen here is you're using 20-pound slastics, or the medium slastics. But this isn't gonna reach 20 pounds until I fully stretch them out all the way. So now I've got a bigger range from here, which is 0 pounds because I'm not stretching it, to the end, which will be way over there, until we actually reach 20. So the rate at which the resistance progresses is gonna be way more incremental than it would with just 1 slastics. So now I can do my Y raise that I wanted to. Yep. And it's enough resistance to activate my shoulders without being too much. And that's because we linked rather than stacked. For linking again, another thing that's gonna be really handy is, if I only had our normal setup we started with, just the slastics, they come out this far and there'll be a shorter training zone, right? So if I'm doing something like a broad jump and I wanna be able to travel a further distance, well, then I'm gonna wanna link to give me a bigger distance or a bigger training zone to perform those jumps, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna keep the link set up right here. I'm gonna step into this belt and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. So I've got this. It's a little crooked. Okay, so if I've got this set up, now I can jump as hard as I want and as far as I want, and I won't reach the end of my training zone. Now, if you were a big jumper, maybe, but average jumper here. And so I can perform a solid jump. So this is slastics linked. When we go back to just our normal setup, you'll see what happens here. So instead of that, we'll go back to how we started. And this is just, 1 slastics is just 1 slastics. We're actually gonna stack. So I'll get double the resistance, but a shorter training zone. So same setup, shorter training zone. And now I've got to be careful how far out I jump, because this training zone has a limit and it's now shorter because you're only using 1 slastics. So hopefully that gives you some insight on how to combine your slastics in your training with yourself or your clients. Check it out on Stroops.com, and we will be back next week. Happy training.